Hey guys, it's DC, and welcome to the Soap Sanctuary where all soap lovers are welcome. This is my Young and the Restless review, The Barbara Ryan, guys. Guys, I'm in my last week of my first semester of grad school, and so far, your man's is surviving. Whew, okay? I made it on through, okay? I made it on through, okay? But let's talk about this week's review, The Barbara Ryan. Colleen Zenk is back on our screen. So for any guys who remember Colleen Zenk, she played Barbara Ryan on As the World Turns. And I was watching a video from James, aka JLJ Media, James Lott Jr. I think he posted about 2 weeks ago or so, and he was talking about how the build up to Colleen Zenk coming on our screen as Aunt Jordan was perfect because nobody knew she was coming. Nobody knew she was coming on, nothing like that. Now, granted, I did not know either because I'm not into spoilers and I don't watch other soap channels. I love Boston Enterprises, but I do not watch his videos because I don't want to be spoiled. I'm very mindful of that. Unless I've already seen Soaps for the Week, now go on and watch videos and see what's going on. So I have like a couple of different YouTube accounts. One of them is my Soap Sanctuary one. I don't log into that unless I'm going to quickly post a video or unless I've seen all the soaps for that week and I know what's going on so I'm not spoiled. But of course, some things always slip through the cracks. But this was one of the moments where I was like, wait a minute, Barbara Ryan is on Young and the Restless? I was like, okay, all right, all right. It was a good build-up, and the good part about this storyline was that it was like an ensemble. It felt like one of those classic soap ensemble storylines, similar to when they have a natural disaster on soaps, or the Metro Caught Hostage storyline from GH, or Out of the Ashes that YNR had back in, I think it was around the time of 2011, 2013, if I'm not mistaken. And I like that, actually. It was a good ensemble storyline, and it played to the past. Now, I'm not going to lie, I do feel like this storyline legit kind of came out of nowhere. Not going to front. Because the moment I saw Haley Aaron that was going to be playing Claire, I've seen her play Kiki on GH. I've seen her play Abby on YNR. So I know she was not coming to just be some regular character coming on. She was coming on for something major. So that gave me a little bit of a hint when I first saw her come on YNR. But we were initially focusing on the fallout of Nate being kind of like excommunicated from the Newmans and watching that unfold. So to transition to this felt kind of quick, not gonna lie. I don't know if anybody else felt that. I felt like personally it was kind of quick. But I did love the fact that this was an ensemble storyline and involved a good portion of the cast, aka the Newmans. Now, you know, Adam is always left out of everything. Even when the family's being kidnapped in another state, Adam gets left out too. Poor Adam. Poor Adam. Even when they get kidnapped, he's left out of the equation too. Poor Adam. I do believe that Claire could be Victoria's daughter with Cole. I actually didn't know that backstory with Cole. I knew that Eve was Victor's wife from past episodes of YNR that I've seen, but I didn't know that she had a son named Cole. At one point in time, I thought it was Victor's son. He ended up being with Victoria and had a daughter named Ethan died. I didn't know that actually. So that was like new stuff being unfolded to me, even as a long-time YNR viewer. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that storyline, I do hope they bring Aunt Jordan back. My suspicion is, what if Aunt Jordan is Eve herself? That would kind of like make sense because they show the flashbacks from Eve, but the original actress played Eve is not on. I don't know if she's passed or anything. I didn't get a chance to look into that. But usually when they do that, that's for a reason. Like I said, everything soaps do are for a reason, usually, except it's GH. When GH does stuff, I don't know what's going on in their minds. I don't know what they had for breakfast that morning. I'm just not sure. But most time when soap writers do stuff, it's usually for a reason. They don't just mention anything just for decoration, usually. Going real quick to Nate and Victoria, you know, when Nate was having the flashbacks of, which Ryder has been a lot of flashbacks, which I think that was because of the writer's strike thing, and now that's over, so maybe we'll see less of that. But when he was having the flashbacks of how Victoria didn't have his back, I understood where he was coming from because, you know, you need to have your man's back. Your man or your woman's back, you need to have your partner's back, and I'm a firm believer in that. And she pulled in Elena this week. She did not have Nate's back. And Nate needs a real woman. You know, he's a real man, he's a good upstanding man, and he needs a real woman. He deserves that. He's a good man. Nate's a good man. If you're not willing to defend the person you're with, then you probably shouldn't be with them. And she's gone through this with Billy, where I think in some ways she's tried to defend Billy, but she still allowed Victor to undermine his relationship. See, Nick didn't really allow Nikki to do that. That was the difference. Nick and Nikki or Victor to do that, undermine his relationships with Sharon, with Phyllis, with Sage, with Chelsea. He didn't allow that. Or with Grace. He didn't. And Nick never really allowed that. And that's what I liked about him, is that he's an honorable Newman. He's still caught up in the shenanigans with everybody. But there's certain things that Nick is not going to allow. I appreciate that about Nick, honestly. I actually really do. But see, that's the difference. Victoria, she's always trying to pander to Victor. And I'm like, sis, you know, we're going into our 40s and our 50s here. What's going on? You know what I mean? When does that end? So it was a refreshing change of pace from them arguing over Newman Enterprises stuff like they have been for the past 10 years. It's kind of exhausting because at this point, if Victor is CEO Emeritus, be CEO Emeritus. Because if you're still controlling the company, to me, it's like you're still in control. I thought with him being CEO, because usually the title Emeritus is like an honorary title. So to me, I was thinking that he was CEO Emeritus, or he was, you know, meaning that he was CEO, but only in honor, not in any real, like not as a real title. Kind of like when someone has an honorary PhD. You have a PhD, but it's honorary, technically. It doesn't really have an actual functioning value. It's just there, kind of like for decoration, you know what I'm saying? Which is not negating people who have honorary PhDs. We salute you too, though. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something that made me think about. Next is on to Ashley and Tucker. I'm trying to figure out exactly what happened exactly between Ashley and Tucker in Paris. I think we're finally getting that backstory. Did he just yell at her a couple of times? Like, what exactly happened? Because she made it sound like he was very monstrous, he was abusive. That's kind of undertone, but we know soaps can't really do that to Tucker writing, because the moment you make someone in that kind of context in a soap, they're done. In 2023, their character is done. There's long gone the days of the Roger Thorpes and characters like that. You just can't do it in today's soap. It's not the way. It's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. A man cannot be redeemed after that on a soap. I think Ben on Days was the last time they were able to redeem a character from from similar stuff like that. And even then, he was written into a box because of that and what they knew the viewers would accept. So that's why he had to come back as Alex Kyriakis. But it also gave Robert Scott Wilson some new material too. Next is, I would go into Kyle's Secret Plan, but I'm not going to touch on that too much this week. I do want to go in real quick on Sharon as the head of SNA or S or Kirsten Incorporated. I was actually liking where that was going. It was reminding me of when they started Restless Style back in the day with her, Nick, Jack, and Phyllis. But then it just took on its own route. But this is my thing I would actually like them to do if they could. Sharon is a therapist, right? I believe. I'm not even clear on what she does. But if she is, why can't we just capitalize on that and we can still find a way to connect Chance into the storyline? What I'm thinking is that Sharon could be like a resident therapist, right? Maybe she's working at Memorial Hospital and she's getting ready to start her own private practice or something like that. And she happens to see a patient or a client that maybe their father got shot by a police officer many years ago. They found their father got shot and they realized it was by a police officer, and they realized that police officer that shot their father was none other than Philip Chancellor IV, aka Chance. And as a therapist, Sharon is not allowed to divulge that to Chance, right? It's therapist-client confidentiality or doctor-patient confidentiality, depending if she's a psychologist or not. But that would be a nice little take there. And maybe she develops an obsession with getting back a Chance, and Sharon feels a confliction, right, with her current occupation as a therapist. That would have been something they could have done. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Would you guys have been on board for something like that? I feel like I would have been, honestly. But anyways, guys, that is my quick Young and the Rest review, The Barbara Ryan. I'm really happy that Colleen Zenk came back. Yeah. It makes me think about Paul Ryan, a.k.a. played by Roger Howarth, who was Austin Gatlin Hall on GH, Franco Baldwin on GH, Todd Manning on GH, and Todd Manning on My Life to Live, and Paul Ryan as Will Turns. Roger Howard's best role was as Todd Manning from the 90s. That's it. That was the best role he had, was Todd Manning from the 90s. Every other role since then, even when he came back on My Life to Live around 2011, it just didn't hit the same. Not for me as a viewer, did not. Didn't hit the same. He was still playing Paul Ryan from As Will Turns for me. All right. Anyways, guys, that is my Young Lurch review. The Barbara Ryan. Very short, very brief. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments below. If you like the content that I put out here on Soap Sanctuary, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I don't know where you would share it to. You don't have to share it anywhere. Just like, comment, and subscribe. I think that's enough for me. I don't need you to share it. Well, you should share it because I need the channel to grow, right? You should share it. But yeah. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.